Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, July 1st, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 683 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Bodies of two children pulled from Florida condo collapse rubble. As Surfside toll rises, more victims named, including two young sisters and their mom. DeSantis veto stuns Republican sponsors of bill promoting civic literacy in students. Hot mic, Biden suggests Maxine Waters run for Senate and encourages Nancy Pelosi to keep it up. Donald Rumsfeld, killer of 400,000 people, dies peacefully. Lawyer for Q Shaman asked a judge to release him from jail, insisting the spear wasn't a danger to anyone. Hate crime charge for woman in NYC hotel confrontation. House Democrats, and two Republicans, vote to create select panel to probe January 6 Capitol attack. The prosecutor whose decision resulted in Cosby going free also defended Trump at impeachment trial. Tropical storm Elsa could form soon, watch is issued for Eastern Caribbean islands. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Chinese Communist Party 100th anniversary, Hive updates, The New York Times. Trump Organization and its CFO indicted by Manhattan grand jury, report says, CNBC. Robinhood app fined $70 million for harming millions via misleading info, outages, KSL.com. Felicia Rashad responded to the backlash over her tweet supporting Bill Cosby's release from jail, BuzzFeed. Britney Spears' father asks court to investigate claims made at conservatorship hearing, CNN. Only two House Republicans vote for the January 6 Select Committee, CNN. Jim Cramer says Chipotle shares are on the verge of a breakout, this one's ready, CNBC. UNC board grants tenure to Nikole Hannah-Jones amid outcry from black faculty and students, CNN. CNN's Acosta receives GOP pushback over claim he was blocked at last second from Trump border briefing, Fox News. Donald Rumsfeld, former defense secretary and Iraq war architect, dies at 88, NBC News. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Eric Adams and Catherine Garcia lead in unofficial NYC mayoral results. Death toll in Miami condo tower collapse rises to 18. More, Cosby tweets after release, I have always maintained my innocence. Over 100 deaths possibly linked to extreme northwest heat wave. Nikole Hannah-Jones awarded tenure by UNC Board of Trustees. U.S. to expand passport gender markers for non-binary, intersex Americans. CNN reporter booed after asking Trump about apology for Capitol riot. News anchor gets even with scam caller in brilliant prank. James Franco agrees to pay $2.2 million to settle sexual misconduct lawsuit. Camila Cabello's Cinderella teaser is a light way Billy Porter's magic. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Cops look for suspect in donation box theft. Postal worker beaten by men on dirt bikes. Dome and school gym to be a Northeast first. Sports Academy founder accused of embezzlement. Woman killed hiking, swept away in downpour. New Orleans firefighters plan march for fair wages. 7-year-old's lemonade stand helped fund first inclusive playground. Body of baby found in 1988 cold case is exhumed. Residents grow concerned over alligators. Teen admits to jury that he fatally shot deputy. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. House votes to create committee to investigate Capitol riot. Trump Organization and top executive are indicted in tax investigation. Bill Cosby freed as court overturns his sex assault conviction. CDC director reaffirms the vaccinated don't need masks most of time. Updates: children are among the 18 dead in Florida condo collapse. China's Communist Party turns 100 with pomp and stagecraft. New York City mayor's race remains tight with Adams leading in revised tally. Pandemic surges again in many parts of the world, fueled by variants. Overwhelmed and devastated, Cosby's accusers on decision to free him. Inside the turmoil at the agency that is running ranked choice voting. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Bill Cosby accusers attorney Gloria Allred says she'll proceed with civil suit against him. Inside Congress fight over presidential war powers. Bill Cosby's release prompts outrage from celebrity supporters of Me Too and Time's Up, I am furious. Kamala Harris staff contending with low morale, internal tensions, reports. CNN's Jim Acosta booed at Donald Trump border event. Old Gwen Berry photo of her holding American flag goes viral amid anthem uproar. Bucks Giannis Antetokounmpo doubtful for Game 5 versus Hawks. Texas border visit, Rep. August Pfluger shares heartbreaking encounter with abandoned migrant boy, 6. Oakland TV crew robbed at gunpoint hours after police chief slams $18 budget cut amid homicide surge. Coco Gauff, 17, Jennifer Brady leads U.S. Olympic tennis team. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, July 1st. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Child tax credit, IRS facing possible implementation problems for monthly check. Child tax credit, what does the updated credit mean for families? Child tax credit, who will get a monthly check? What's next? Legal expert explains Bill Cosby's overturned conviction, future for accusers. Rocket Mortgage Classic preview, should be a shootout, says CBS Sports Cole Nust. Pain at the pump, increasing gas prices may not decrease anytime soon. Detroit Golf Club profile, historic course faces modern game at Rocket Mortgage Classic. Fourth stimulus check, is another relief payment coming anytime soon? Stilo brim on MTV's ridiculousness, people will never stop doing stupid things and filming it. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Italy boosts security at airports to stop England fans sneaking in to watch match on Saturday. Craig Brown, 52 years on, and Beatles fans are still uncovering mysteries on Abbey Road cover. Andy Murray's wife Kim Sears shows off her smashing new hairdo. Janet Street Porter on how the COVID numbers used to justify lockdown. GBBO's Candace Brown admits revealing her mental health battle in new book Nearly Broke Me. Prince Harry leaves self-isolation after 5 days in quarantine at Frogmore Cottage. Wimbledon tennis stars blast slippery grass during wettest championship in a decade. Sue Perkins and Anna Richardson are determined to remain friends following their split. Never-before-seen diary entry reveals day Princess Diana met with children who have disabilities. Arsenal football star Ainsley Maitland-Niles overturns his G-Class Mercedes in M25 crash. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. It's the climate change, stupid. Letters from Hong Kong's jails. AstraZeneca vaccine doses produced in India not included in Europe's vaccine passport ahead of launch. China marks century of Communist Party with pageantry, propaganda and an iron grip. Putin call-in show, Russians press the president on new coronavirus vaccine rules. Russia rejects renewing aid from Iraq to Syria's northeast. Firmly in control, China's Communist Party marks centenary. The Philippines hopes the voices of this all-female Coast Guard unit will keep Chinese ships away. Canada reports significant increase in deaths thought to be linked to heat wave. 15 killed in Haiti's capital amid spike in violence. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Chinese Communist Party 100th anniversary, Xi Jinping delivers key speech, Hive updates. Tim Berners-Lee's NFT of World Wide Web source code sold for $5.40 Scientists urge UK to expand official list of COVID symptoms. Miami condo collapse, death toll hits 18 as weather has potential to affect site. NCAA clears way for college athletes to be compensated as state laws loom. Donald Rumsfeld, former U.S. Defense Secretary, dies aged 88. Andy Murray fights back to beat Oscar Ott in 5-set Wimbledon epic. Latest First Nations discovery reveals 182 unmarked graves at Canada school. Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction overturned by Pennsylvania court. Trump Organization financial chief to be charged by New York prosecutors, report. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Manhattan expected to charge Trump's company and CFO Thursday, sources. Bill Cosby released from prison after conviction vacated. Microsoft exec, targeting of Americans records routine. Spectator arrested for causing massive Tour de France crash. Woman accused of attacking black teen charged with hate crime, pleads not guilty. Former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld died at 88. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. China celebrates Communist Party's 100th anniversary. Immigration, is US-Mexico border seeing a surge in migrants? Nearly 200 unmarked graves found near Canada residential school. Gensad Kinjepratensi, Ethiopia's Tigray rebel mastermind. The Easter Island panist playing for her home's future. Mozambique attack, timeline of terror. How to handle China at 100. Trudeau pays respects to Canada heatwave victims. Miami building collapse, 2 dead children found in rubble. The Amazon sellers who sold up and became millionaires. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Authorities investigate hundreds of deaths linked to torrid Pacific Northwest weather. Family in hotel next to collapsed condo witnessed nightmare, couldn't leave Florida for days. Joshua Jeans, fired by Louisville police for lying on Breonna Taylor warrant, loses reinstatement bid. Bodies of 2 children, ages 4 and 10, found in rubble of collapsed building, death toll rises to 18, what we know. Will federal offices and mail services be open during 4th of July weekend? CDC director reaffirms face mask policy, Supreme Court allows federal eviction pause, latest COVID-19 updates. 135,000 test ballots mistakenly added, how New York City's election board got the results so wrong. Illinois summer camp didn't require masks indoors, over 80 teens, staff got COVID-19. CDC recommendations could make summer camps look very different this year amid pandemic. Self-taught beekeeper starts business in Michigan to help local farmers. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Gerald Levy, who led building of UCLA Medical Center after Northridge quake, dies. Bay Area TV news crew held up in armed robbery attempt during interview. Crackdown on thieves of catalytic converters nets 20 suspects in Torrance. Need a ride? Metro Micro offers $1 ride shares around LA. Mother charged with murder in deaths of 3 children in East LA. Kayaker bitten by shark off Catalina Island. Hate crimes against Asians jumped 107% in California in an epidemic of hate. LA's new plan to restrict homeless camping, what you need to know. Explosive lava fire keeps growing, forcing thousands to flee their homes. Fears that Delta variant could wreak havoc in LA prompted call to wear masks indoors. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, July 1st, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. BC records 486 sudden deaths, almost triple the usual number, during heat wave. Satellite images show China building what appears to be over 100 new silos for its nuclear missiles, analysts say. Pope Francis to meet Indigenous survivors of Canadian schools abuses. Stop financing fascism, public figures appeal to Polish government after grants to far-right groups. Super spreader party infected all except 6 vaccinated attendees, NSW reveals. Russia, China pledge to not use nuclear weapons at each other. 182 bodies found near 3rd Canadian residential school. Remains of 182 people found in unmarked graves near former residential school outside Cranbrook, BC. We will find you and we will kill you. Afghan interpreters face threats as U.S. plans mass evacuation. 1 year firmly under China's thumb, Hong Kong has become more dangerous than Beijing. Mexican avocado producers are arming themselves to fend off cartels. Catholic Church north of Edmonton destroyed in fire. High school students convicted of insulting Polish president. Britain consigns coal power to the history books as ban is brought forward to 2024. Bolsonaro government asked for bribe of $1 per dose, says vaccine seller. The next headlines are from Forbes. Milwaukee Brewers tune in review, in the NL Central driver's seat at the midway point of the season. Tucker Carlson persists with NSA spying claims. Arrival of Nil Day leaves some fearing unintended consequences. Trump Organization reportedly indicted by NY grand jury. College athletes can start making money off their name and fame, NCAA rules. NCAA passes interim name, image and likeness policy, ushering in new possibilities for student athletes. Unleashing the power of the youth and food systems change. Summer's here are the top 5 coolest popsicle trends. Cameron Johnson becomes much-needed offensive spark for Phoenix Suns. Yale Drama School will eliminate tuition after $150 million gift from David Giffen. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Malaria vaccine gets a parasite boost in the liver. Makers and shakers. Meaningful measures of human society in the 21st century. Material science shows strength. Programmable capillary action controls fluid flows. Asymmetric activation of the calcium sensing receptor homodimer. Integrating explanation and prediction in computational social science. Engineered single-domain antibodies tackle COVID variants. The time neurons that help the brain keep track. The scientists whose hybrid rice helped feed billions. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,715,303,971 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Loki Episode 4 Recap, What the Heck Just Happened, and Other Burning Questions. 7 Days Review, A Lousy First Date Gets a COVID-19 Enforced Do-Over. Female-led producer Aquarius Films hires Miranda Cully, Erica Harrison. Bring Your Own Brigade Review, Lucy Walker's Wildfire doc doesn't rely on easy answers. Oscar music rule changes likely to meet with approval by film music community. Too hot to handle Season 2 burning questions, answered, rule break costs, Lana's overnight monitoring and more. Charlize Theron says Old Guard sequel script complete, filming to begin early next year exclusive. Bill Cosby speaks out following overturned conviction, I have never changed my stance nor my story. Critics' Choice Association launches World Movie Awards in another salvo at Golden Globes. Music industry moves, Young Thug to oversee soundtrack for Throw It Back musical, Cobalt announces profitability. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Trump's family business, CFO are expected to be charged on Thursday in New York. Change.org workers form a union, giving labor activists another win in tech. Arizona Republican strip some election power from Democratic Secretary of State. Champlain Towers condo board hires a crisis PR firm after the Surfside collapse. Bill Cosby's release could have a silencing effect on victims, advocates say. After contentious debate, UN grants tenure to Nicole Hannah-Jones. NCAA votes to let athletes earn money based on their names and images. 2 new NBA coaching hires create unwanted controversy for a progressive league. Another alleged Oath Keeper pleads guilty to January 6 conspiracy. The U.S. will add a third gender option on passports. The following headlines are from The Week. Report, grand jury returns criminal indictments against Trump Organization, its CFO. Cosby says his release is for all the people who have been imprisoned wrongfully. Following controversy, UN grants tenure to Nicole Hannah-Jones. The war Donald Rumsfeld won. Only 2 GOP representatives voted in favor of January 6 Select Committee. The Cosby decision isn't justice, but it's fair. Actress Allison Mack sentenced to 3 years in prison for role in sex cult. Bill Cosby shows how the legal system works for the wealthy. The due process violation behind the overturned Cosby conviction. Donald Rumsfeld, former defense secretary, dies at 88. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. A place where 2 things can be true at once. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. The most deadly magic carpet ride. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, July 1st. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the 3rd most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. July 2021 Guide to Visible Planets. Polaris and Thuban via the Big Dipper in July. The Teapot guides you to the Galactic Center. Today in Science, the Tunguska explosion. The next news is from Politico. George Floyd's murder transformed America. Opinion Republicans shouldn't sign on to the bipartisan infrastructure deal. A relic from the past, New York's troubled election agency ignites fury. Opinion: the Don Rumsfeld the obituaries won't write about. Adams in the lead, Garcia gains after new results released by NYC Election Board. NCAA lifts athlete endorsement rules as states scramble to court players. Republicans go all in on immigration as a political weapon. Not a healthy environment, Kamala Harris office rife with dissent. Rep. Adam Smith pushes back against private funding for National Guard deployment. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australian News Live, NSW records 24 new local COVID-19 cases, 4 states and territories in lockdown, local Queensland cases grow. Ask your doctor, Andrews sides with Commonwealth on AstraZeneca approach. Ignore us, just try, why punks riot GRRRLS will never go quietly. Communist Party has altered the world's development, Xi Jinping. NSW records 24 new COVID-19 cases as second Sydney hospital worker tests positive. Thick fog shrouds Sydney again ahead of a burst of cold. Actor James Franco to pay $2.9 million to settle suit alleging sexual exploitation, fraud. Pexa hit by operational glitch ahead of $3 billion ASX debut. Fog blankets the city. The airline making money keeping its planes grounded. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The Wall Street Journal, Exxon CEO disavows comments by lobbyists dismissing oil giant's climate stance. IPO report, Krispy Kreme IPO, 5 things to know about the donut maker before it goes public. IPO report, Krispy Kreme prices IPO at $17 a share, well below range. Outside the box, this heat wave is a retirement issue, 6 ways to build climate change into your retirement planning. Earnings results, Micron expects memory demand to remain strong, will sell Utah plant to Texas Instruments. The Wall Street Journal, private equity giant TPG may go public through IPO or SPAC. Newswatch, this is the #1 reason unemployed Americans aren't looking for work. The moneyest, I won over $55 million in the California lottery, but didn't tell my friends or family. Did I do the right thing? IPO report, Diddy, the biggest IPO of a monster week, sees stock struggle slightly in debut. Capital report, as heat and drought stress the West, Biden climate team leverages the urgency for clean power and tax credit push. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Cookie company asks High Court to dip into trade dress law, Law 360. Courts make patents more challenging for antibody biotech, the National Law Review. ADT seeks to block imports of Vivint smart home systems, American Journal of Transportation. Federal Circuit denial of en banc rehearing in Amgen v Sanofi prompts new considerations in genus claims, J.D. Supra. VoicePal decries patent eligibility chaos to Supreme Court, Law 360. Intellectual property rights during, and after, a pandemic, medical device and diagnostics industry. Supreme Court limits assign or estoppel, making some patents easier to challenge in court, Lexology. Portnoy, Summer Essentials Trio Mountain Special, $77, Fox 31 Denver. Apple faces demand to bar watch from U.S. as fight widens, Bloomberg. Exploring the biggest medical breakthroughs in Latin America, Caribbean and Latin America Daily News, News Americas. The next headlines are from Quartz. Watch, TikTok head of global agency and accounts cartoon vies on better connecting with businesses next generation. New York City's ranked choice voting needed a boot on style test run. Sleepwalking. If high-speed rail can work between Dallas and Houston, it could work in these places too. The 4 ways that organizations deal with doubt. Europeans are starting to feel a little bit better about China. Global opinion of China's handling of COVID-19 is now dramatically more positive. 5 ways the Pacific Northwest heat wave is breaking cities' infrastructure. More disclosure is not the answer to corporate diversity shortfalls. The Chilavaha Desk. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. As expected, judge grants injunction blocking Florida's unconstitutional social media law. Supreme Court says patent review judges are unconstitutional, but it can be fixed if USPTO director can overrule their decisions. Tech Dirt Podcast Episode 288, Rep. Zoe Lofgren sees problems on every page of these antitrust bills. Press X to apply Fourth Amendment. Documents show how Gray keep brute forces iOS passwords. Did the Supreme Court just take a sledgehammer to copyright statutory damages? Daily Deal, the modern web development and MISCL programming bundle. Ninth Circuit Appeals Court says some disturbing stuff about Section 230 while dumping another to sue Twitter for terrorism lawsuits. Ohio Republicans forced to back off unpopular ban on community broadband. Congressional leadership realizing that big tech antitrust bills aren't ready for prime time. Ubisoft teams up with mystery rights holder to remove fun fan-made GoldenEye 007 maps from Far Cry. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Mexico versus Panama. Escape from Tarkov. Blink-182 Mark Hoppus. Donald Rumsfeld. Bebe Rexha. Severe thunderstorm watch. Jack Harlow. Bill Cosby. Adam Sandler. Shohei Ohtani. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Newness on the case, House GOP leader McCarthy wants NSA investigated after Tucker Carlson accusations. X markers next, Biden administration to allow applicants to self-select gender on travel documents, plans to add third option. Germany's CureVac jab shows only 48% effectiveness against COVID-19 in final stage of trial, driving stock plunge. Is he still president? CNN's Jim Acosta booed after following Trump to Texas to ask about January 6th. The real victim of the Iraq War, AP roasted for describing late Donald Rumsfeld as visionary whose reputation was soiled. Eric Adams sues over 135,000 test ballots added to NYC mayoral race count amid botched primary election scandal. Aim low, U.S. Air Force to allow walking instead of running in physical fitness tests. Passenger disruptions of Paris airports expected as workers from 3 French unions strike over new contract terms. Matt Gaetz calls for Inspector General investigation into whether NSA or other intel agencies spied on Tucker Carlson. Iraq War architect Donald Rumsfeld dead at 88. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Incremental outrageousness is killing America. Baltimore City Police set to seize twice as many ghost guns. George Orwell's 1984 has become a blueprint for our dystopian reality. Charges filed against Trump Organ CFO Alan Weisselberg. Restaurants have no choice but to raise menu prices amid inflationary pressures. 500,000 illegals crossed since Harris named border czar. Kamala Harris staffers are leaking, and her office is a dysfunctional mess. Majority of voters reject teaching children that America is structurally racist, Harvard poll. 4 Cali residents convicted of using $1.8 million in PPP funds for luxury homes, gold coins and jewelry. Bill Cosby conviction overturned on technicality, will be released from prison within hours. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. China's Communist Party at 100, where are the women? Wall Street registers 5th straight quarterly gain. Abuse and torture, U.S. reacts to Donald Rumsfeld's death. World Wide Web source code NFT fetches $5.40 at auction. A long time coming, U.S. to allow X option on passports. Gates Foundation pledges $2.1 billion for gender equality. Retail giant Amazon's carbon emissions rose 19% during pandemic. Canada, 182 unmarked graves found at another residential school. Death toll at 16 a week after Florida condo collapse, mayor. U.S. House forms panel to probe January 6 attack on Capitol. The next headlines are from Breitbart. AP, border agents encounter record number of Venezuelans likely to stay. Watch, Kamala Harris is misleading America on the border, says Texas governor. Report, 5 Asian countries building 80% of planned coal power stations. Fauci, vaccinated, unvaccinated regions becoming to Americas. Rep. Matt Gaetz demands investigation into NSA monitoring of Tucker Carlson. Dem Rep. Escobar, GOP members fueling hate against migrants with border visit, finally have admin, willing to look at border in Biden. Watch live, Glenn Youngkin, parents against critical race theory rally in Loudoun County. James Franco, who supported Time's Up anti-sexual harassment group, agrees to pay $2.2 million to settle a sexual misconduct case. Report, Biden's DHS may release 100,000 more migrants into the U.S. annually. Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, only 2 Republicans to vote for Nancy Pelosi's partisan January 6 committee. The next headlines are from UPI News. Man wins $100,000 when store sells out of preferred lottery game. Look, flock of homing pigeons prompts exit ramp closure in Florida. Watch, Walmart employee tackles deer inside store. Watch, prototype flying car travels between Slovakian cities. Look, 2 kittens rescued from engine compartment of car in Florida. Texas woman reunited with class ring after 15 years. 112-year-old Puerto Rican dubbed world's oldest living man. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Norway closes down its last Arctic coal mine and transforms land into best-managed national park. Stress can accelerate grays, but hair color can be restored when stress is eliminated, scientists find. Chinese monk dedicates life to rescuing 8,000 dogs, he finds them new homes around the world. No AC, no problem, use these tricks to stay cool in the summer heat. Youth who walks 17 miles each day so he can work is given new bike and $52,000 from Good Samaritans. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, July 1st. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Bill Cosby makes brief appearance in bed on the local news hours after being released from prison. $5.5 million for www. Tim Berners-Lee sells the NFT of the original internet code. 2 people get insane traffic stop after switching seats while in motion. Cop punches unarmed black man, so naturally the whistleblower cop who uploaded the footage is suspended and the assaulting officer cleared of charges. In Liberia, General butt naked rehabilitates ex-child soldiers. Man who jumped from moving plane at LAX says he bought a lot of crystal meth before boarding. Man attacked woman who overtook him in swimming pool then offered to race her. Chinese censorship found at Australian universities, rights group. Man who set fire to house by cooking steak in toaster upset at insurance payout. The Delta variant spreads unstoppably through Portugal and France. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. How to make almost any digital piano sound like the real thing. AI study claims tennis is the most euphoric sport. I'm not convinced. Wild new theory says the Big Bang wasn't the beginning. Mars probe captures groundbreaking new images of the red planet's discrete aurora. Slack's new tools help you cut down on video calls. C. Templar makes sure your emails are never unprotected, even after you send them. The world needs a unified approach to dealing with cyber attacks. We charted the battery life of the iPhone 12 range. Finally, U.S. car makers now must report autonomous vehicle crashes. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Where are the foreigners of the first international age? Keep your friends close, cortisol levels low for life. Protein Big Bang reveals molecular makeup for medicine and bioengineering. Research lays groundwork for restoring lost oral functions with pacemaker-like devices. Decoding electron dynamics. Astronauts demonstrate CRISPR-Cas9 genome editing in space. Variations in quantitative MRI scanners measurements. 5-minute breathing workout lowers blood pressure as much as exercise, drugs. How plants quickly adapt to shifting environmental conditions. Machine learning helps in predicting when immunotherapy will be effective. The next headlines are from Information Week. ServiceNow's CIO's strategic fit for low-code development. CEOs and CFOs are jointly enabling the future of business. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, July 1st from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA selects Johnson support contractor. NASA to air departure of SpaceX Cargo Dragon from space station. NASA administrator names Johnson and Kennedy Center directors. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. LDS Church changes policy about civil ceremonies and temple sealings, making way for more family members to be part of weddings. Latter-day Saint leaders no longer can perform civil marriages between non-members. Biden pledges help with wildfires to western states. Structures no longer threatened in Cache County. Bagley cartoon, Patriot Act. Why some Utah lawmakers want Confederate statues out of the U.S. Capitol. Mission statement. Utah reports 574 new cases of COVID-19, the most in more than 2 months. South Ogden police lift shelter-in-place order after SWAT standoff. Living Traditions Festival returns, bringing joy and reflection on 35th anniversary. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Intel's new Optane SSD P5800X is the fastest SSD drive ever made. IBM's 18-month company-wide email system migration has been a disaster. Huawei CFO says HSBC emails disprove basis for U.S. extradition claim. Apple makes OS X Lion and Mountain Lion free to download. Carrier caught injecting SMSAD into Google verification code message. Oklo has a plan to make tiny nuclear reactors that run off nuclear waste. Amazon demands one more thing from some vendors, a piece of their company. Robinhood's luster stained again with a record $70 million fine. At nearly 116 degrees, heat in Western Canada shatters national record. Tim Berners-Lee sells web source code NFT for $5.4 million. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Bruno, beloved bear known for wandering the Midwest, dies in Louisiana. Bill Cosby issues statement after prison release, I have always maintained my innocence. After overnight business fire, St. Louis fire chief reminds everyone fireworks are illegal in the city. St. Louis County students can get free COVID vaccines in mid-July. Greenlight St. Louis distributes meals, shares how to access free medical marijuana cards. Kim and Skid, helps with 2-run double, Cardinals sweep D-backs. UPS driver recognizes teen trapped in wrecked pickup, uses delivery truck to free him. Missouri Botanical Gardens new hike includes a bat survey. St. Louis police officer sued for 2017 killing while serving no-knock warrant. Carlisle Lake fireworks show delayed until Labor Day. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Cancelled La Jolla fireworks show still faces fight from wildlife activists. Coronado High stripped of regional basketball title over tortilla throwing incident. Suspected gang member denies murder charges in Emerald Hill slayings. Supervisors turn away proposed purchase of nearly 700 acres of North County land. Caitlyn Jenner suggests moving homeless people to big open fields. NCAA clears athletes to earn money from their fame. Trump Organization, CFO expected to be charged Thursday, report. Child bitten by shark while kayaking off Catalina with father. New California laws take effect July 1st. Donald Rumsfeld dead at 88. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. U.S. Army launches mixed reality goggle integration into aircraft. 7 U.S. Air Force C-130H jamming planes do the elephant walk in Arizona. U.S. Navy orders more MH-60R anti-submarine helicopters. Sikorsky wins $878.7 million to build more CH-53K heavy lift helicopters. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. China is officially malaria-free, says WHO. Chinese parents defend son's choice to wear skirt, sparking conversations about gender-neutral parenting. Dispatch from Shanghai, the Chinese Communist Party at 100. In the 7th century, a Chinese coup of Shakespearean proportions. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, July 1st, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Brentwood man wanted for shooting co-worker after work-related argument. San Jose flea market vendors, we hope that this is a step forward. Music to my ears, Newsom applauds Biden's wildfire plan. UPS driver recognizes teen trapped in wrecked pickup, uses delivery truck to free him. Here's how the Bay Area ranked in list of America's best barbecue cities. Bay Area slang, list of words that locals use. Report, California hate crime up 31% in 2020, led by anti-black bias. Caitlyn Jenner on the Olympics, part of my history. Death toll in Florida condo building collapse rises to 18. More than 100 deaths may be tied to historic Northwest heat wave. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Children run lemonade stand in Lake Zurich to raise money for accessible playground. Habs away to Charms return for Game 3 of final in Montreal. To aid islands during pandemic, students forego senior trip. Where to find weekend carnivals, fests and July 4th parades in the suburbs. Watkins turns down coaching job, reaches majors with Orioles. Settlement reached over voter registration lawsuit. Jim O'Donnell, handicapping the Arlington Park land sale, good luck. Owner of dogs responsible for Palatine attack fined, ordered to remove dogs from village. Team Rubicon volunteers assist with post-tornado cleanup in DuPage County. Longtime Elgin teacher, former Tuskegee Airman dies at 96. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Here's where you can watch 4th of July fireworks near Seattle. Summer food program, where kids can find free, low-cost meals in Seattle. Seattle to close 3 miles of streets to cars on Lake Washington Boulevard on weekends. Seattle mayor introduces ordinance to help fill hundreds of empty downtown storefronts. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Enrique 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Burkina Faso, Benin, Côte d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Ghana, Niger, Nigeria, Togo. Drought is ongoing in China. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Kazakhstan, Russia, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Azerbaijan, Greece, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, July 1st in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. After Geneva, U.S., Russia strategy moving forward. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Trump Organization, company CFO charged with tax-related crimes by Manhattan. Boy Scouts camper bitten by shark while canoeing off Southern California coast. Harris County turns to toll road money to help mitigate flooding. Texas man executed for killing his pregnant wife, her dad and 5-year-old. Reward offered in drive-by killing of innocent Houston woman as she dropped off son at Naval Academy. Notorious Tuskegee study has lessons for COVID era, new film shows. Donald Rumsfeld dead at 88, served as Secretary of Defense for Presidents Bush and Ford. Convicted felon with lengthy criminal history out on 10 bonds arrested on 4 new crimes. Child care crisis among barriers keeping women from rejoining workforce. Sugar Land seeks artists to decorate mental health boxes. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. GOP Congressman flouts mask rules on airline flight to Texas. Judge blocks Florida law aimed at punishing social media. Hundreds of deaths could be linked to Northwest heat wave. Firmly in control, China's Communist Party marks centenary. In conservative South Carolina, longtime Dem switches to GOP. GOP embraces Trump during visit to Texas, border wall. Budget approved as lawmakers meet without masks in Maine. GOP donor pays $1 to deploy South Dakota National Guard. Minnesota legislature moves closer to finishing $52 billion budget. NCAA clears way for athlete compensation as state laws loom. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Board of Elections releases updated rank choice tally after first bunched count. Extra, Rumsfeld died, Cosby freed, Max sentenced, Questlove speaks, we didn't start the fire. It's hot again, and Con Ed would like you to conserve energy. In final $98.7 billion budget, de Blasio places priority on schools and recovery. Rank choice voting software company says NYCBO ignored offer to help carry out citywide election. Perfect picnics now available at Fort Green's excellent mid-dinner party. Early edition, a little prince wore a little suit to the soccer game. Locals protest Cuomo's plan to install essential workers monument in Battery Park City. Without more tourists, city hotels cannot bring back all their furloughed staffers. Explore the soul of NYC, a seamless guide to Harlem. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Anti-gay therapy offered at Uganda health centers run by 8 funded groups. Terrorists become increasingly innovative in a world shaken by COVID-19. Women must no longer be squeezed into a small corner, Landmark Forum declares. Urgent action needed to end inhumane conditions facing Haiti prisoners, UN Rights Chief. Migrant worker numbers rise by 5 million, ILO. We need to act now, as sub-Saharan Africa faces third wave of COVID-19. COVID-19 impact on tourism could deal $4 trillion blow to global economy, UN report. Climate change, your choices matter. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. IDF forces deploy new semi-autonomous robots to Gaza border. Vice, America's first black billionaire wants his reparations check, now. Pro-science mom enrolls kids in Pfizer CV vax trial, 12-year-old's daughter suffers severe reactions. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. James Franco settles for $2.20 in school sex misconduct suit. Tom Segura reveals most humiliating moment of career. A super spreader strain, what to know about COVID-19 Delta variant. Over 100 deaths may be tied to historic Northwest heat wave. Facebook scam, someone tried to log into your account. Does pic show Keanu eating ice cream at a movie theater? Explainer, why Bill Cosby's conviction was overturned. Bill Cosby freed from prison, his sex conviction overturned. Is Twitter getting rid of chronological tweets? We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Grand jury indicts Trump Organization and CFO Alan Weisselberg, reports. The Pacific Northwest's punishing heatwave has killed dozens. The absurd legal saga that freed Bill Cosby, and could enable abusers. Dershowitz defends Cosby, compares him to Trump, they're both political victims. Bill Cosby's stunned accusers rip his prison release, it's a slap in the face. Fox's Geraldo paints Cosby as victim, how will he get his 2 years back? What have Broadway's white leaders learned about racism? Let them explain. When Prince Harry and Prince William unveil Princess Diana's statue, will they also reconcile? Meghan McCain, my mother is the only example of Biden bipartisanship. The next headlines are from the New York Post. New Jersey kid is world's youngest chess whiz. Father, 3 children found shot dead inside burning North Carolina home. NCAA changes college sports forever, an entirely new landscape. Report reveals sordid assault accusations against MLB's Trevor Bauer. Gripping recording captures frantic escape from collapsed Florida building. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Hubble waylaid by computer fault. Ground breaks on Lowell's new visitor center. The future of satellites lies in the constellations. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. End to Northeast heat wave in sight. Heat waves threaten more than 50 million on both U.S. coasts. Unvaccinated are at significant risk as COVID-19 Delta variant spreads, Fauci says. COVID Wuhan lab leak hypotheses are plausible, expert says. Biden to announce expanded efforts in federal wildfire response. What is a heat dome? Extreme temps in the Pacific Northwest, explained. Flying car completes first test flight between airports in 35 minutes. Pac-Man black holes spotted eating neutron stars for first time. Some Cologuard users hit with unexpected high bills after cancer test. Walmart unveils low-cost insulin for diabetes patients. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. House launches special committee to probe January 6 riot after Senate GOP blocked bipartisan commission. Eric Adams holds slim lead over Catherine Garcia in NYC mayoral recount after test ballot debacle. Before primary fiasco, NYC Board of Elections ignored repeated offers of help from voting software supplier. 182 unmarked graves found on site of Canadian Indigenous school, third major discovery this year. Here's what Bill Cosby had to say after his prison release. Chicago man ticketed for protecting tree bark from dogs. Assembly to issue subpoenas in Cuomo impeachment probe. De Blasio slams Board of Elections over botched mayoral count, calls for complete recanvass. Brazil likely undercounting COVID deaths among kids, study. A timeline of the Bill Cosby sexual assault criminal case. The following headlines are from military.com. Acting Sec Nav clears record of Marine officer separated over Scout sniper urination scandal. New Air Force PT test will have walking option for some troops, General says. Democrats raise ethical concerns over GOP donors' $1 million funding of border deployment. Switzerland becomes latest nation to choose F-35 for its next fighter jet. Former South Carolina lawmaker suspended from Pentagon job. House subcommittee passes $706 billion spending bill with 2.7% pay raise for troops. Marine major pleads not guilty to 9 charges in D.C. Capitol riot, gets released by court. Case dropped against recruiters charged with hiring unqualified linguists to work with U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Soldiers on electric scooter accused of hit and run while riding drunk in Seoul. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Lawsuit accuses Evanston-Skokie School District 65 of discriminating against white teacher through race-based policies. Morris mayor says officials were unaware battery business was operating in building that's still on fire. Thousands remain evacuated. Chicago News Today, here's what's happening June 30, 2021. High winds in Thursday's forecast, life-threatening rip currents in Lake Michigan heading into holiday weekend. Daily Illinois coronavirus graphs, daily data updates on COVID-19 deaths, cases and tests. Asteroid Day is a celebratory one for the Field Museum, whose scientists just classified a rare meteorite. Rep. Adam Kinzinger, one of 2 House Republicans to back Pelosi's plan to investigate January 6 U.S. Capitol attack. An emotional Jackie Wilson, alleged victim of police detectives under John Burge, files broad federal lawsuit. Chicago man charged with murder and killing of mother drove body to Grundy County, admitted to cops he suffocated her, prosecutors say. The Spin, Biden cracks wise about Chicago Rumsfeld, an Illinois native, dead at 88. Alderman tried to put Chicago's top cop on hot seat over city violence. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Another mild algae bloom forecast for Lake Erie this summer. Researchers develop wearable sensor to monitor oxygen levels through skin. Branson mum on when he'll launch to space on Virgin Galactic. Conservation aquaculture could bring more native oysters to West Coast. Conservative sensitivity to pandemic threat suppressed by distrust of science, media. Machine learning algorithm predicts how genes are regulated in individual cells. Researchers looking at oil and water interaction to prevent water contamination. Solving a murder case with physics. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, July 1st, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. What language did the Vikings speak? First report of a new navigational supersense that birds use to find their way home. Full spectrum CBD oil, buyer's guide and best products. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. California school stripped of title over tortilla incident. Otani flops, exits early in Yankee Stadium pitching debut. Vasilevsky I, Price put on a show early in Cup Final Game 2. Fight over fireworks prompted shooting at Alki Beach, killing 1 and injuring 3, Seattle police say. Russia rejects renewing aid from Iraq to Syria's northeast. Don American League Division Series and gives Gilado a spin on sticky stuff comments. Tom Dundon now sole owner of Carolina Hurricanes. Watkins turns down coaching job, reaches majors with Orioles. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. San Jose, driver killed in crash on I-880 off-ramp. Latest victims in condo tower collapse include 2 children. Dublin, federal prison guard charged with sexual abuse at women's prison. CIF strips Coronado High of basketball title after investigation into tortilla tossing incident. Warrant issued for Antioch shooting suspect. Vegalution grows into downtown San Jose's Sofa Pocket Park. Motorcyclist suffers major injuries in South San Francisco crash. Pokemon Go, where to spend July's Tepic Community Day in the Bay Area. After vote to remove police from campus, San Jose Unified Equity Coalition looks ahead to more reforms. A's draw smallest crowd in 24 years with Coliseum fully reopened, but team expects 30,000 against Red Sox. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Nicole Hannah-Jones of 1619 project wins on tenure after uproar. Senate Republicans push to halt nomination hearings over scuttled COVID-19 origins investigation. White House demands Democrats add carbon-free electricity rule to human infrastructure bill. Eviction moratorium expiration looms, White House scrambling for solutions. House, in party line vote, approves select committee to probe January 6th riot. Scott Suggs, Darlington County, South Carolina, clerk of court, switches from Democrat to Republican. San Jose, California, to make gun owners carry liability insurance, pay gun violence fee. Robert Pratt, federal judge, apologizes for partisan comments on Trump pardons. House votes to launch new probe of January 6th insurrection. Biden faces an erosion of support. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Farewell to Donald Rumsfeld, dreary war criminal. Schumer amendment shorts states $5 billion in COVID-19 relief funding. Rep. Mike Johnson predicts Supreme Court will overturn Roe v. Wade. How pesticide companies corrupted the EPA and poisoned America. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, July 1st, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Thermal imaging offers early alert for chronic wound care. Thermal waves observed in semiconductor materials. Want new advanced materials? There's a phase transition for that. COVID-19 bereavement care lacking for ethnic minorities. Sanaria vaccine results show unprecedented progress in battle against variant malaria. Psoriasis among adults in U.S. Study suggests it is common for pet dogs and cats to catch COVID-19 from their owners. New markers for coronary microvascular disease identified. AI and marshmallows, training human-AI collaboration. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Bill Cosby freed from prison after sex conviction overturned. An instant city council meeting to rip the cops on the eve of 4th of July? Forget it. Start of White Sox, Twins game delayed by rain. James Franco settles school sex misconduct suit for $2.2 million. Blackhawks reportedly considering trading Duncan Keith. R&B icons Keith Sweat, Bobby Brown next up in Versus battle. Lightfoot's troubles put her under harsh spotlight, as office she holds becomes shadow of what it was. Unveiling of Ida B. Wells' monument in Bronzeville met with joy, excitement, appreciation and humbleness. Man dies in Homan Square shooting. Undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens should have easier path to citizenship, group says. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Monsoon unlikely over Delhi, Haryana and Punjab till July 7th. COVID live, cases below 50k, toll under 1k for 7th day. Uttarakhand buzz as BJP brass summons Rawat to Delhi. Pandemic blues, less than 200 Shines land international jobs. COVID-19, Delta may be behind 100% of infections in MP in June. Cops ask Twitter to take down child porn, give account details. Finance Ministry curbs spending by debts to help fight COVID. Average daily COVID vaccinations in June touched 40,000. Supreme Court asks NDMA to fix ex gratia for COVID victims in 6 weeks. Small savings rates left unchanged. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, July 1st, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Trump joins Abbott at border wall briefing, but cannot stop ranting about Russia, Hillary in 2020. First Lady Jill Biden and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff visit Houston to push COVID-19 vaccines. Houston Concert Watch 6/30, night, Aaron Lewis and more. Putting the B in LGBT, James Park doesn't let labels get in the way. 7 reasons for optimism around Korea signing an extension with Astros. The next headlines are about world records making news. 4-man rowing crew from SF claims world speed record to Hawaii after 30 days at sea, San Francisco Chronicle. Rowers set Pacific world record, from San Francisco to Hawaii, South China Morning Post. Tokyo 2020 Olympic previews, 3 world record holders in the women's 100 back, swim. Weightlifter Jimmy Cole breaks bench press world record, laudable. Gabby Thomas offers latest hint women's sprint records may finally fall, The Guardian. British man sets world record for stacking M&M's food and wine. This family-owned dairy just broke their own world record for longest string cheese, mashed. Dalmatian gives birth to 16 puppies, nearly breaking world record, Newsweek. Powerlifter Jimmy Cole puts up world record 1,120-pound bench press, Bro Bible. Infographic, youngest solo pilot world record attempt, Dhaka Tribune. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. The X-Men's trial of Magneto begins with tragedy at the Hellfire Gala. Instagram is pivoting to video. I had to see this Space Jam, a new legacy clip, and now you do too. Throwable ground vehicles sent to aid rescuers at Florida condo collapse. United's newest planes finally support Bluetooth audio, and it's about damn time. Robinhood ordered to pay millions in restitution to rip-off customers. Tim Berners-Lee sells NFT of the source code for the World Wide Web for $5.4 million. Star Wars detours probably won't ever be released, and here's why. Exxon lobbyists reveal in secret recordings how they manipulate politicians and the public. New York faces blackouts as extreme heat strains the grid. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Jarrah in Kuwait at 127.04 degrees Fahrenheit or 52.8 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 105.88 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 76.6 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Delta variant wild spread raises fears, fresh scrutiny of CDC mask guidance. Amazon doesn't like FTC Chair Lina Khan's views, wants her off investigations. Not just old, LG is about to release its first mini-LED TVs. Robinhood ordered to pay $70 penalty to U.S. regulator. More vaccine progress, this time, it's malaria. Starlink's next-generation user terminal will cost a lot less, Musk says. A weird take on frame rate, how PS5's first 40 FPS game works, runs. Dell's $199 ultra-sharp 4K webcam has AI on board, but no microphone. HP bets on AMD Ryzen 5000 in its new Pavilion Aero laptop lineup. Google commits to supporting Nest smart home devices for 5 years. The following headlines are from Raw Story. To say they support law enforcement is a joke, Republicans blasted for anti-police vote. CNN nails Republicans worshipping Trump in Texas instead of voting on January 6 committee. Criminal indictments officially filed against Alan Weisselberg by Manhattan District Attorney. CNN's Acosta celebrated for asking Trump if he'll apologize for January 6. Looks like Trump got accosted. California crowd boiling to clashes with anti-fascists accused of spraying chemicals at police on January 6. Threats of violence in August starting to look like the days ahead of January 6, Homeland Security tells lawmakers. Iraq veteran warns of flashing red light about terrorists who have infiltrated the U.S. military. Devin Nunes tasked by Republican leader with investigating NSA for Tucker Carlson's claim he read his emails. He'll be out there selling pillows, MSNBC panel predicts Trump will be done after pending indictments. Extensively detailed New York Times documentary reveals each entrance Capitol attackers broke into and how. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Nicole Hannah-Jones finally has been granted tenure, but the damage is already done. Federal regulator hits Robinhood with $70 million fine, its largest ever. Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturns Bill Cosby's conviction. A Bronx Tale, one sperm donor, 19 siblings, and 6 decades of secrets. Old people in prison were left to die from COVID. It didn't have to be that way. A jewel for our community, how LA residents are reclaiming industrial spaces. How are Biden's latest airstrikes not just a war? Environmentalists take sharp aim at Democrat climate compromise. 60 years after the Yankees told her the dugout was no place for a girl, she threw out the first pitch. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Deorbit Science satellite carrier rides to space atop SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket, Globe Newswire. Most Americans believe life on other planets exists, Pew Research Center. Pentagon UFO report, no aliens, but government transparency and desire for better data might bring science to the UFO world, The Conversation US. Alien view of Earth and deleted coronavirus sequences, Nature.com. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Diverse pipeline for repurposing drug company includes treatments for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis and chronic cough, pancreatic cancer and stroke, Streetwise reports. Research finds some behavioral traits hardwired even in new babies, CBS 19 News. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, July 1st, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Don't dismiss the alien hypothesis. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, July 1st, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News.8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News.8. All rights reserved.